Hi everybody. I'm going to wait for just a moment to see if we can get everybody on and who's listening today and who's watching. I'm Hein. If you're out there, be sure to give a shout out, say who you are, where you're from, maybe your favorite dealer. If you have a favorite dealer, can give a shout out to them. There we go. I got a couple people watching. So today, I'm going to be talking about another one of my favorite things on the Memory Craft 15,000. And some of you might know this. What I'm going to be talking about are the cloth guides. So before I do that though, I have a really special announcement that I want to do. And it's a little bit of a surprise. So I'd really like to wish someone a very happy birthday. And I made a little cake. It's not really cake, but here it is. We're going to be 29 forever. And that's for the one and the most wonderful Regina. Happy birthday to you. I won't sing for that part. But happy birthday, Regina. And I hope you have a great day today as we celebrate your birthday. So everybody say happy birthday to Regina. And I'm going to blow out your candles for you so we don't have a little fire in here, or turn on my fire alarm. Best wishes. All right, so back over here. So today I am going to be talking about the cloth guide, and this is what it looks like right here. This thing right here. It's clear, it has a little attachment on it, and if you have a 15,000 or you have an embroidery sewing machine like an S9 or a 9900 or 11,000, and you're like, what? Do I have that? Yes, you do have that. In the 15,000, it's in the box with your embroidery arm tucked in the side, sort of hiding in there. So if you don't have it, go look at that box and go find it. This is a great seam guide for you. It's called the cloth guide. But Janome has other ones of these too. They also have this one here. Regina's getting a lot of love for her birthday. Happy birthday there again, Regina. They also have this one, and it sits like this on the arm of your sewing machine if you have a machine like a 9450 or a 9400, 8900, 77. Those ones here, it clips on the arm of your machine and can slide in and out. So there's this type. And then earlier last week, we had a video from JP, and he talked about another one of our cloth guides, seam guides, that screws into the base of your machine, like right on the plate of your machine for a guide. So there's at least 3 different ways to have great seam allowances with Janome. So I'm going to show you on the machine where it goes and how it works. So I need to turn my machine, turn things around and get you back over here. And I did put a little surprise on my machine here. You can change your screensaver so you can send special messages to people. So, lots of people. I have people from Ontario. Oh, Pat, she uses the cloth guide. How nice. Hi, Luann. I see you there. All right. So when you go to put your cloth guide on, it actually works off of your embroidery arm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you on the back here. This is your embroidery arm back here. Now I leave mine on all the time so that when I need to sew, I can just attach my cloth guide right here, like that. So it fits right on the arm like that, and it sits right here against the back of your machine. So it's always at the ready, so you can have it ready whenever you need it. So to use this, we're going to wake my machine up. You select the tab up here, which opens it up. Now I'm going to open it to show you. Gives you a little message because it's going to move to its set mode, which is 5/8 inch. Now, if you're looking at your screen and you're not in inches and you're in millimeters and you'd like to be in inches, let me show you how you change that. You come down here to set, And in your common settings, these are the settings between your sewing and your embroidery, you can change that right here from inches to millimeters or millimeters to inches. So if it's highlighted black, then you want to touch that, making sure it's black, that'll be inches, and always touch the OK. That way it saves those settings. Oh, someone loves my nails. Well, actually, I actually have a little dotty cup too. So cheers to Regina. All right, we got Michael Smith watching. All right, so now I'm ready to use my cloth guide. I'm going to touch it up here. Now you can use this cloth guide with all of your feet, including your Applique feet. And I have that on my machine right now. So I'm going to show you how this works. You can set your cloth guide to move over. See, it has this big opening right here. It'll fit right around that foot. So you can set it to be minus a 1/16 all the way out here to 8 1/4. So how do you move it? On the screen here, you touch these little buttons here, and it moves it in. So I'm going to set this at, whoops, this way. It's hard to look at your screen and touch the buttons at the same time. All right, I'm going to turn my camera over to my camera person, and we're going to come right over here, and I'm going to show you. So I have my Applique foot on, and when I go to sew, this is minky, and you know how that's always a pain in the neck. So with my cloth guide, I can put it right up against there, and I'm using just my start-stop button. And you hear that boop? I'll be quiet. That's telling me that my window for my cloth guide is still open. So I just have to touch OK on the screen. And now when I touch my start button, it will start sewing. And I'm just in a straight stitch. There we go. And so all I have to do is keep this right along here. I don't have to worry about what's happening over there. I just have to watch right here. So that's seaming like that. Very easy to do. And let's see. What is it saying? We have many dealers. Oh, Sew Back Direct. Yeah, if you have a favorite dealer, give a shout out to your dealers. Our dealers right now are doing some amazing things. They're doing curbside pickup. So some of them are even Skyping to show you machines, so you can take a look at that. My machine, this is the Janome Memory Craft 15,000. Now on this little piece, I had a piece of vinyl that I had to attach to the snuggle fabric here. And I did a very tiny little hem on here. I'm going to show you how I did that on there. Little tiny piece. Whoops. Hang on one second. So here I did the stitching. I'm actually going to stitch again. Let me cut this off really quick. And while you're waiting, I'll trim this up. I did my sample cut earlier. Here we go. Now, I just want to put a very tiny little seam on there. And I'm going to move my cloth guide way over to the side. So I'm going to open it back up again, and you'll see it move. See how it fits right around my foot? So I can use my giant foot if I want to. And then once I'm here, if I want to sew on the edge of that fabric, oh, bittersweet fabric, super stitch, we hear that. I'm going to move my needle over now. Let's see here. Bring my needle over to the edge. There we go. And I'm going to sew this little edge as we go. So I'm going to sew part way, and I'm going to move my needle again closer to the edge. So maybe I need it to be closer to that edge. There we go. So all I have to do is really watch up here at this point where I'm sewing, and I get a nice seam allowance there. There we go. I love this feature. So I want to change out of my Applique foot and put on a regular foot and show you a couple of other things that you can do with your cloth guide. How many people use the cloth guide out there? Oh, everybody's giving Dave at Bittersweet some love. Yeah, has anybody done any curbside pickup with their dealers? I know some people have called in and asked for product and had it, they bring it out to the curb for you. A lot of fun things are happening that way. All right, so I have my regular foot on. If I was just going to seam, I would want to set my cloth guide at 5/8, so I'm going to move it back. Maybe I'm sewing something at 5/8 today. I have a little piece right here. Use it often, that's what, oh, never knew what this was. See, I'm glad I'm showing it. I love this feature, I really do. It helps me keep my seams nice and straight. Whoops, wrong button. Let's go back here. There we are, all right. So I can do things like this. So that's kind of exciting, but I'm sure you're not like jumping out of your chairs excited about that. Let me show you something that you really, how many quilters do we have out there? We have a lot of quilters. My nails are a little distracting. Well, unfortunately, I can't go to the nail tech. I have to deal with these nails for a while. All right, let me get my foot on there. I'm going to actually show you how quickly I can sew one of these strips of fabric. This is a, let's bring the camera back a little bit so we can see. This is a nice big 2.5-inch strip from a jelly roll for a jelly roll race. And I'm going to show you how quickly you can sew the edge of this fabric and get a beautiful seam on there. So let me get this set up here. I have my 1/4-inch foot on. I'm going to go pick my stitch out here. And so Skyline S7, somebody asked about that. Let me go find my stitch over here, and then I'll take a peek. All right, so I'm over here. And all I have to do is put my strip right against there. And I can see, because I didn't move it in yet, it's not in line with my 1/4-inch. So what I do is I put my fabric at my 1/4-inch. And then I'm going to move my cloth guide into the position that I like. And see how it's rubbing up against there? I don't want that, so I'm just going to move it back just a little bit. I just want it to brush against my cloth guide so it's coming right into my foot. There we go. All right. When I'm ready to sew, I'm going to start sewing at a nice slow speed, like this. But because I have my cloth guide on and I'm sewing a jelly roll race, and I want to win the race, of course, I can move my speed up to super fast and go ahead. I don't, here we go. So I'm at full speed. See how fast I can get that strip done? And I just have to watch right here where my cloth guide is to what I'm doing. Now I timed myself the other day, and to do the full strip took me 35 seconds. So I think anytime I'm working with anyone, I would definitely win the jelly roll race. So I'll stop that. Of course I should win the race. Thanks, Kim. Yes, I will. All right, so there I have it. That seam done very quickly, very easily. How nice is that? All right, I have a couple other things to show you, and I'm going to take my 1/4-inch foot off and talk about hemming. So I have, this is a little pretend piece, and we're going to come back just a little bit so we can see more of it. Let's pretend this is a little girl's dress, and I folded up this giant hem, and I want to sew the hem down now. I'm actually going to sew it from this side so that I can put a nice decorative stitch along here and finish my hem off. So I'm going to change out of this. I'm going to put on my F2 foot, and I love this foot for decorative stitches. It has that nice channel under there. push that on there. There we go. And I'm going to go find a decorative stitch. Oops. There we go. Let's go find a decorative stitch. This is always the hardest part, the decorative stitch, because there's so many of them, and I love so many of them, but I do have a favorite for this right here. And now I'm going to set my cloth guide because I want to be up here. This is where I want to stitch. So I'm going to open the cloth guide and I'm going to bring it out here. Now once you get going out pretty far, it changes to moving by 1/2 inch. All right, so I want to put my foot right along there. My cloth guide needs to be out just a little bit further. I'm going to go out like that and bring it in just a bit. There we go. All right, so I'm going to start right here. Does that guide fit any Janome? This one here that I have on today, this one fits the embroidery machines that have the arm on the back because it works off the embroidery arm. If you have a 7700, 90, 8900, 82, 9450, 9400, you'll use this one here. And it, oops, goes this way. It clips onto the arm of your machine like this. It would clip on like that and slide. And it's just as big here too, so that fits on there. If you don't have a machine that this can work with, and this does work with the table because you do have a little slot back here to stick it in, there's a screw-on one too. So you can use the cloth, a different cloth guide if you need to. May I see the table that you have up to the machine that levels? Oh, this is the table that comes with the machine, the acrylic table that comes with the machine. That's what I have. All right, so to sew my decorative stitch here, I'm going to turn my speed down because I was going way too fast before. Here we go. And I'm going to lower my foot, and I'm just going to sew along the top. And I just have to keep it against my cloth guide over here and not think about what's happening under the foot. Ooh, we're planning on more videos. I love it. So that's how that would work. If I wanted to put another row of stitches on there, I could very easily move my cloth guide out one more time. This way, one more, and I could put another row of stitches right here of a different kind. So see how easy that would be to decorate the hem of a dress or put rows and rows of decorative stitches on the edge of something. There we go, my hem is all done, and I could just put that in the done pile now. All right, I have one more thing to show you because we've all been making these masks, and I know some of us are running out of elastic. I made some very tiny thin, it's not actually bias, but thin ties for mine that thread through here. And I used my cloth guide. Now a friend of mine gave me this ready-made stuff right here. It's already done for me, so I don't have to do any pressing or anything like that. And I sewed on the edge of this using my cloth guide. Look how professional that is. I'm going to pat myself on the back. I think I did a good job. All right, one more thing here. Oops, bumped the camera. There we go. All right, I'm going to switch to my A foot because I need a little bit more pressure on my strip. And I'm going to bring my cloth guide in. And I'm going to set my stitch. Now yesterday, Alba showed us going into sewing applications, and that's where I'm going today, into sewing applications for applique. And I'm choosing a zigzag stitch, which I'm going to lengthen. And I'm actually going to move the needle of it a little bit here too, because I want it to fall off the edge of my piece. This is the Memory Craft 15,000. All right, so here we go. Let me get this down here. And I got to move my cloth guide over one more time. Maybe a little bit less. You can move it by 1/32, so you can get very close to where you're going. So this is where I'm going to be sewing on the edge there. And I always have to do a little bit of slow sewing and sample sewing in the beginning before I get started. Oops, it did not. Where's my stitch? There we go. For some reason, having technical difficulties. There we go. Bring it back here. Come on. There we go. All right, I see what's going on. There we go. All right, here we go. Let's see what this is looking like. I may have to move my cloth guide. Yep, I do. Move my cloth guide. So it takes a little bit to get it there, but you can get it right on the edge of your fabric and sew very, very close to it. Let me move this. There we go. And my cloth guide. Move that over. The last thing I'm going to show you on the cloth guide is how you put it away, because I think that part's amazing. There we go. So now I'm sewing right on the edge. I can move my speed up. All I have to do is hold my finger there, and I can sew yards and yards and yards and yards of this. So I have a nice finish on my trim that I'm going to use for ties. So very easy. I love my cloth guide. It's like my third arm. Now when I'm done for the day, oh, operating the screen. You want to see me operating the screen? We'll bring it over here to the screen. Well, this is a good question, Seal, on the A foot. Typically when I do decorative stitches, I like this foot here because it has the channel under here. Okay, but with this little tape, I don't want it wiggling it around underneath the foot, so I like the A foot on it because it gives a nice even pressure as it goes over, because it's flat on the bottom, completely flat on the bottom. So let me open this back up. Here's the screen, and what I was doing over here is I was moving it left and right using the boxes here, and I didn't show you how far out it goes. So see, after a little while it goes to 1/2 inch. And if I need to, I can fine tune it at a 1/16 so I can get it right where I am. Oh, you have one, Lori. That's good. So when you're all done for the day and you want to put your cloth guide away, you need to, I like to say we need to park it, and that has parking assist, but we really should use the proper terms. It does have a return to home position right here at the very bottom. It's the little arrow going to the right. So when I touch that, it's going to give me a message that it's going to move to the home position, and there it goes. So it's a little bit like parking assist is what I like to call it, but it is returning it to home position. When I'm in sewing mode, I just put it right on here, and I leave it attached all the time, and it's always at the ready. So thank you, everybody. I'm going to turn it around one more time. There we go. Thanks for listening. I know I had a little bit of technical difficulties in there, but you have to set up your cloth guide to fit perfectly for you. Oh, there's somebody from Greece. How nice is that? Any other questions about the cloth guide? Let's see if there's any more. Yes, you have that screen on the 12,000. Along the top, let me go back to the screen again to show you where you find your cloth guide. Right along the top here, you'll see an icon that looks like this. That's the cloth guide. And when you select it, you open it up, it'll say, keep hands clear. This is the part I didn't mention in the beginning. When it starts moving, your arm is going to be moving. So you want to be sure over here that you don't have a coffee cup in the way so that you end up spilling your coffee cup. So you want to make sure you have room on that side. And that opens up the screen so that you can move your cloth guide, again, if you want to park it when you're done, right here. Now I'm sure you're all going to run to your machines and put it on and start playing with it, whether you're making the tape for your masks or maybe you're seaming. You can use it for 1/4 inch piecing. Oh, haven't tried it on my 77. Now your 77 is going to use the other one, the clip-on one, and your S9 will use the one that goes on the embroidery arm. So remember, we have two. We have this one here, and we also have the one there. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Tomorrow we have another one of these. We have them every day, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Make sure you check it out. I think tomorrow Miriam's up. And, oh, it took me ages to find the park. Yeah. So, hope you enjoy it. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you again.